I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Caitlin Clark, a trash effing white girl. Caitlin Clark has been picked on and abused ever since she entered the league in 2024. And now Brittney Griner.
Back, my dear and lovely viewers. Today, I'm back with another brand new, amazing, and interesting video that you won't want to miss. So, make sure you stay with me until the very end. Now, without wasting any more time, let's open if one of the greatest basketball players ever witnessed the most gifted young athlete in the WNBA being singled out through dubious means. Steph Curry's shocking remarks regarding Brittney Griner's actions against Caitlin Clark have completely upended the basketball world, so you'll find out. Let me ask you a question first, though. Have you ever witnessed a professional athlete being singled out the way Caitlin Clark has been throughout her career? Steph Curry's perspective on the WNBA has completely changed as a result of what he saw during the Connecticut Sun game. Brittney Griner is devastated by this facet of Steph Curry's viewpoint. Steph Curry is precisely where Caitlin Clark is at the moment. In this time, Steph Curry was the best player in a league full of amazing athletes, and they attempted to physically intimidate him since they couldn't match his exceptional basketball IQ. But Steph Curry highlighted this important issue. At this point, Brittney Griner's reputation becomes really intriguing. Steph Curry recognizes the distinction between what he is witnessing with Caitlin Clark and what he witnessed in the mob scene and championship-level competitive basketball. He described it as the most cowardly act I've seen on a basketball court in decades. Yes, you heard correctly. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 83% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So, did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now, back to the video.
Many times that Caitlin Clark got roughed up repeatedly by defenders throughout her rookie year last year. It was attempted bullying, trying to break her spirit, intimidate her, put her in her place, get even with her for all the attention she was getting. But this season, it appears Caitlin is more committed.
Steph Curry reacted harshly and swiftly after watching the video of Brittney Griner attacking Caitlin Clark from behind while she was attempting to deal with being poked in the eye. This man, who faced well-known enforcers like Bill Laimbeer and Dennis Rodman, was the only person in basketball history who truly understood what pure competitive fire looked like. However, even he could see that Brittney Griner's actions went against the standards of competitive integrity and sportsmanship. But hear what Steph Curry has to say about the timing of that shove. Right now, Brittney Griner is deeply disappointed by his analysis. The basketball player brought up a topic that many fans have been considering, but no one with his level of fame had the courage to speak up. Playing championship-level defense is not the same as taking cheap shots at a person when they're totally exposed and not looking. Steph Curry underlined that his time was regarded as the most physically demanding in NBA history. When you disagreed with someone, you confronted them like a warrior rather than waiting for their back to turn before acting like a predator. And that's precisely what Steph Curry found most offensive about Brittney Griner's heinous behavior. But for now, Steph Curry's criticism has completely ruined Brittney Griner's reputation. The senior Boston Celtics player was extremely enraged by Brittney Griner's pitiful post-event response. Instead of apologizing or admitting that she might have gone too far, Brittney Griner pretended that the fans and media were unfairly criticizing her. "Damned if I do, damned if I don't," she murmured. However, Steph Curry became even more enraged after hearing such remarks. According to Steph Curry, the winners and legends of the game, truly great competitors, always accept full responsibility for their actions, particularly when those actions could seriously endanger another player. He claimed that watching Brittney Griner play the victim and evade criticism made him think of athletes who knew deep down they couldn't compete at the greatest level. They consequently discovered other, dubious methods to influence the game. In other words, Steph Curry effectively described Brittney Griner as a mediocre player who uses immoral methods because she lacks the actual basketball talents to match better potential. This is the point at which Steph Curry's study really shines and highlights an intriguing facet of Caitlin Clark. Steph Curry sees in Caitlin Clark the same unique traits that made him one of the greatest basketball players in history: her extraordinary basketball IQ, her inexplicable ability to make clutch shots, and most importantly, her heavenly capacity to elevate everyone around her. However, as someone who values basketball ethics, he also notices something that truly worries him. Instead of concentrating solely on realizing her limitless basketball potential, this exceptionally gifted young athlete must always be on the alert for cheap shots and dirty tricks. According to Steph Curry, Brittney Griner's strategy perfectly captures everything that is wrong with certain players' decision to play Caitlin Clark, rather than challenging themselves to match her extraordinary skill level or outwork her on the court through commitment and preparation. The fact that she is physically attacked when she is most vulnerable is a troubling trend. Steph Curry claims that this behavior is the worst kind of basketball competition he has ever witnessed. But as a result, Steph Curry's daring remarks became the talk of the basketball world. Steph Curry likened his personal encounters with physical abuse at work to the situation surrounding Caitlin Clark. However, he didn't hesitate to draw attention to something that elevates Caitlin Clark and appropriately contextualizes her circumstances. He emphasized that Caitlin Clark, who is only 22 years old, is facing significantly more hardship than the majority of athletes experience during their careers. And she's doing it while bearing the burden of becoming the undisputed face of women's basketball.
While this is taking place, Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. This is her quote.
Curry's remarks regarding Brittney Griner's NBA future, which are currently trending on social media, are unbelievable. According to Steph Curry, if the WNBA permits players like Brittney Griner to pursue superstars without incurring consequences, it conveys the idea that mediocre players may employ unethical strategies to maintain their relevance rather than honing their actual basketball talents. According to him, this sets a risky precedent that could discourage players who are boosting the standard for the league. Steph Curry even went so far as to say that young players who watch at home are duped by the league's inability to sufficiently penalize these behaviors. He feels that viewing the WNBA should teach children about skill, dedication, and sportsmanship rather than how to choose inferior opponents. However, Steph Curry's forecast for Caitlin Clark's future in spite of these difficulties may have been the most important aspect of his entire remark. He claimed that Caitlin Clark was shaped by hardship and that every cheap shot, dirty play, and attempt to scare her just strengthened her resolve to demonstrate her dominance through talent alone. Steph Curry likened Caitlin Clark's predicament to his own rookie season, when opponents continuously put his physical stamina to the test. He pointed out that Caitlin Clark is dealing with this behavior in addition to the unheard-of media attention and demands that come with being the most marketable player in WNBA history. Steph Curry's backing of Caitlin Clark is therefore essential. He is defending more than just a gifted athlete. He is standing up for basketball's inherent purity. He believes that Caitlin Elizabeth Clark embodies all the qualities that make basketball special, such as talent, vision, class, and competitiveness. Additionally, he sees everything that could be harmful to the sport in competitors like Brittney Griner. The basketball veteran stated unequivocally that the WNBA is at a pivotal moment. They have two options. Either they continue to let inferior players employ dishonest strategies to stay relevant, or they protect and highlight their best players, enabling stars like Caitlin Clark to realize their full potential and improve the league as a whole. Steph Curry's message was clear. The decision made will determine the league's future. However, everyone is talking about this question. Will Steph Curry's cautions about safeguarding Caitlin Clark be taken seriously by the WNBA? Or will they keep permitting athletes like Brittney Griner to use dubious tactics to damage the league's reputation? Let's carry on the discussion in the comments section below. What are your thoughts on Steph Curry's severe critique of Brittney Griner's actions? Do you believe his complaints are entirely valid, or do you think he's being overly critical? More significantly, do you think the WNBA will eventually take action to safeguard its biggest star? Please share your ideas in the comments section below. I read each and every one of them. Make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell if you want to see more analysis like this that cuts through the noise and explains what's actually going on in basketball. Caitlin Clark's situation in the WNBA might eventually change as a result of Steph Curry's controversial remarks. The basketball community is keeping an eye on
Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about.
First inclination is to say that this person is not a female.
Story develops. One thing becomes more difficult to ignore. Discussions are no longer limited to one game, one hard foul, or one controversial occurrence. It has to do with the future of women's basketball, the standards the league wants to uphold, and how its best players are treated when the spotlight is shining. Few athletes have ever had to contend with the kind of expectations that Caitlin Clark faced before entering the WNBA. Every game she plays is watched by millions of people. Every action she does is scrutinized from every angle. Every success is celebrated, and every setback garners media attention. That's what it means to be one of the biggest names in basketball today. Meanwhile, veterans from all throughout the league continue to compete at the highest level, bringing years of experience, tenacity, and pride to every match. The WNBA's goal is to ensure that fierce competition never devolves into unnecessary or dangerous play. Intensity is what fans want. Rivalries are what they want. They are searching for authentic basketball. But they also want respect, justice, and stability. Steph Curry's comments have sparked heated debate because he is a person who understands what it's like to perform under duress. Throughout his remarkable career, Steph Curry faced some of the strongest opponents and fiercest defenders basketball has ever seen. But his message was more than simply toughness. It was about maintaining the integrity of the game and making sure that basketball skill, rather than controversy, remains the primary focus. Whether you completely agree with Steph Curry's perspective or believe the situation has been exaggerated, it is indisputable that his comments have generated discussion. Fans, commentators, former players, and media personalities continue to debate what should happen when the league's best players become the focal point of physical play. Do authorities need to be stricter? Should the league apply harsher penalties? Or is this simply a normal part of being a professional basketball player? Everybody seems to react differently. There is no doubt about Caitlin Clark's response. Instead of letting controversy, physical defense, or criticism define her career, she has continued to focus on basketball. She keeps competing, showing up, and proving why so many believe she represents the sport's future. Her perseverance is one of the primary reasons her followers continue to support her. The WNBA is receiving unprecedented attention. Television ratings are rising, arenas are crowded, social media conversations are growing every day, and new fans are discovering women's basketball for the first time. These kinds of situations affect not just a single player or team, but also the league's perception around the world. As the season goes on, each game will become much more vital. Every game Caitlin Clark participates in will be closely watched. Every controversial play will be analyzed. Every official ruling will be contested. Every game will also add to the narrative of one of the most talked about seasons in WNBA history. The most crucial question is now yours. Do you believe Steph Curry's comments truly reflect the league's present situation? Do you think the WNBA is allowing competitive, physical basketball while taking enough safety measures to protect its stars? What impact do you think this whole situation will have on the league, Brittney Griner, and Caitlin Clark in the future? Please feel free to express your opinions in the space provided for comments below. I genuinely want to know what basketball fans all across the world think. The courteous conversation in this group is fantastic, and your point of view may be featured in a future film. If you enjoyed this discussion and want more in-depth basketball analysis, exclusive updates, and the biggest news concerning the WNBA, NBA legends, and Caitlin Clark, make sure to click the subscribe button, activate notifications, and never miss another upload. Basketball history is being written every night. I appreciate you watching and your wonderful support. As we wrap up today's discussion, one thing is clear: moments like these continue to spark passionate conversations across the basketball world. Whether you agree or disagree with the opinions shared, basketball fans everywhere are paying close attention to how the league, its players, and its biggest stars continue to shape the future of the game. Every game, every headline, and every debate gives fans something new to talk about, and that's what makes following the WNBA so exciting. Now it's your turn. What do you think about everything we covered today? Do you believe the league is moving in the right direction, or do you think there are still important changes that need to be made? Share your thoughts in the comments below because I read as many of your comments as possible, and your opinions help shape future videos on this channel. Let's keep the conversation respectful, thoughtful, and focused on the game we all enjoy. If you enjoyed this video and want more WNBA news, analysis, and updates, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Clark Update. Your support helps us continue bringing you fresh basketball stories, game breakdowns, player updates, and the biggest headlines from around the league. We're growing every day, and with your help, we'll continue building one of the best basketball communities on YouTube. Also, be sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We cover the latest WNBA news, trending stories, and the biggest developments as they happen, so you'll always stay up to date. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of this amazing community. I truly appreciate every view, every like, every comment, and every subscription. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video with another exciting WNBA update. Until then, thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.